An apple a day keeps the doctor away, but a glass of OJ keeps the adversary at bay. Here's Odd Job. It's time for a glass of OJ. I'm Odd Job. So, today's going to be a little different. It's an event recap. I don't think I've ever done one of these. Essentially, as COVID is declining, I'll be going to more events. So little networking events, panels, discussions around town, also conferences. So ShmooCon, end of May, you can catch me. It's the next conference I'm going to be going to. And I may even try to do a bit of a recap of that. So talks that I go to that I found interesting, lessons I learned in the villages, maybe the CTF, and maybe I get some B-roll footage to show you what ShmooCon looks like, for those of you who haven't been. But 1150 Academy, the EFA, had a coffee and conversation event this morning, or I guess it's yesterday morning, depending on when you're seeing this video. The EFA is a nonprofit teaching and coding. They teach coding and cybersecurity courses, and for cybersecurity specifically, they focus on the Net Plus and Sec Plus from CompTIA. And they also have a cyber range that they built, and they sprinkle some Try Hack Me throughout so that you get skills in a variety of different roles and tools that you'll use in InfoSec. They had IWIT come in, which is Indy Women in Tech, and there was a panel led by Ariel Crawley of Indy Women in Tech. Jessica Stephenson from TechPoint was there, as well as Jennifer Pointer from BlindRobot and Ellie Hong from DeveloperTown, which actually, if anyone remembers, besides Indy, I helped start that. And the first year we were in DeveloperTown, which was in Broad Ripple. That was our first venue. So it was a really, really cool place. So they were giving a panel on resources for women in tech, especially how to find mentors, how to find jobs. LinkedIn was a primary tool. A lot of them kept bringing up that's helped them find success and people that they've worked with find success. And whether it's through mentors or groups or projects to become a part of, being able to connect on LinkedIn has been of huge importance to IWIT's ability to encourage more women in technology, which is really great. But they had some other takeaways, and I'm going to sprinkle in some of my own thoughts with this. That's why I'm doing this video and not just simply writing a blog piece maybe. So the first thing that was kind of caught my attention was mentoring. Mentoring is very important. Whether you're a man or a woman who's already 10, 15, 20 years in tech, or even 5 years really, but 10, 15, 20 years in tech, it's important to use your career and social capital that you've built over that time to help women. So think about all the different resources, the contacts, the peers, learning materials, the places to get skills upgrades, exposure to superiors, and also networking and orgs. All those things that you wish someone would have invited you to, that event you wish someone would have taken you along to, that website you wish someone would have told you about, peers you wish someone would have introduced you to, contacts you wish someone could have helped with you in making. Those are super important. Basically, the idea is people who are 10 years behind you in career essentially should not have to struggle in the ways you struggled to get where you are. That's a bunch of BS. Should be making it easier, because you should also hope the people who are 10 years ahead of you should be making it easier for you to get where they are in less time even, because security is an ever expanding role and in place, and it keeps specializing as it goes out. And so it's more important that we get more people in at entry level and more people in to be able to fulfill these roles. So that was very important. So mentoring, but also learning about how to be an ally, or how to learn to get more resources, or how to overcome barriers, how to remove those barriers. Podcasts and books are very important. So seek out podcasts that deal a lot with women in tech, women in InfoSec, people who do gender studies in careers in the workplace. basically listen to people who are going to expose you to ideas that are outside of your lived experience. If you listen to a woman and the things she's describing that she had to go through in her career, if that's not the same as yours or similar, it isn't always the case, but it might be because, as a woman, she had those particular struggles she had to go through to get where she is. It could be a bunch of other things. It could be maybe she didn't go to the same university as you did, so didn't have access to the same networking. But kind of pay attention to that and ask them to call out, how much do you think it is because you're a woman? How much of that really is unique to you? And these podcasts, books like Dents in the Ceiling by Angel Henry, which I'm actually going to start reading, really point these out and point out ways in which allies, like I hope you and I will be, can remove barriers to entry and barriers to success for women in tech. So biases are usually the resultant barriers, or at least result in your not seeing the barriers. So biases are often about what you don't notice. So you may unintentionally exclude women because of barriers that are invisible to you, but they're clearly apparent to women. That's why you got to listen to women. And I know you're listening to me right now, so you should turn the channel off, right? Well, I'm trying to amplify women right now. I'm trying to amplify Ariel, Jessica, and Jennifer, and Ellie, because they had great takeaways, and I'm trying to bring them to you and also redirect you to women who have a lot more to say about this. Job descriptions was very interesting to talk about. Jessica wanted to talk about job descriptions more from the standpoint of helping women deal with the current climate, which is go ahead and apply for a role even if you don't satisfy all the requirements. You know why? Because men do that. More often than not, men will go ahead and apply for a position that they don't meet all the requirements for, and they'll get hired too. Not all of them, but a lot of them will. So apparently those weren't the bare minimum requirements, right? So women, go ahead and apply yourself. Well, as someone who can remove a barrier, you should take a lesson from that, as start thinking about what are your minimum requirements for that job and just post those minimum requirements. Make sure you clearly communicate those things that are just nice to haves, those things that are like, hey, this would be even a better candidate or a more preferred candidate. You can put that in there as more of a preference. These are individual preferences that just make you more qualified. But these are the things we need at minimum. We want to see you, if you can fulfill these and you can be this kind of an employee, then we want to see you. So giving that minimum success criteria is important, I think, in order to do that. Because when you write dream job descriptions, you don't get dream hires, you get liar hires. That rhymes, it's so stupid. I made that up just now. Salary negotiations, too, are kind of the same way in those minimum requirements, right? Men tend to ask for more than women. They tend to get offered more than women, and they'll negotiate on top of that. So you already get the threefold increases from women. So let's say a man would ask for $100,000 for a job. A woman may ask for $70,000 because maybe she's making 65 right now or 60. Well, the man will maybe get offered 110,000, and he may negotiate for 120, 125, or even 130,000. He may get it. So now he's like $30,000 and $40,000 ahead of this woman instead of just being $10,000 or $20,000 ahead. And that's how the gender pay gap keeps expanding, or, just keeps going up, proportionally as salaries go up. It just kind of keeps the same because, you never close that gap. So change the expectation. And you can do this one of two ways. The first way I recommend, and this is again my own thought process here, is to go ahead and put in the salary range for the position. That way, men or women will always ask at least for something that's going to be in your range, something you should already be offering them. You should never, ever, ever, ever offer below the minimum end of your salary range, regardless of whether someone asks for it or not. And there was actually an incident where at Honeywell, where a recruiter actually did offer someone $50,000 below what was the real salary for that position, and then kind of went on a weird brag about it or whatever, and then later revealed it's actually company policy that she do that. That's what she gets hired to do, is to lowball people. And if you lowball yourself, that just makes her job easier, and she's not going to hold your hand. Honeywell fired her, but they still have the same policy apparently. So Honeywell, maybe watch out for them maybe. So that's very important to do that, because again, women tend not to negotiate the offers. They'll just take the offers that are given to them. Again, already lower than what a man asks for, what a man's offered, and what a man negotiates to. So go ahead and do that. Or you know what? Just go ahead and offer everybody what you would negotiate to anyway. But of course, I always hate car dealers where they're just like, no, this is our bare minimum price. We can't offer any more than this. Yeah, you can. There's always negotiation. So if you want to negotiate, put your salary range in there to play the negotiation game. If you don't want to play the negotiation game, put the salary you would negotiate to anyway, and then keep it there and keep it in the middle of your salary range for various reasons. Alyssa Miller actually has some great material on that. You should go listen to her on that. So really, the 5 takeaways here are: be a mentor, expose yourself to new ideas and information through podcasts and books, rewrite your job descriptions to reflect your minimum success criteria for a hire, and always offer a salary expectation you would negotiate to anyway. Why not go ahead and put the description, the salary range in the description? Do us all a favor. Hey, men should even have that. Should never have to worry about were you asking too little or too much. Were you wasting everyone's time or not with your salary ask? So tell me what you think. Put your questions, put your comments, put your insights in the comments below. Find me on Twitter and let's start a conversation there. Or you can find this on LinkedIn. I'm sure I've posted it. Go and start a conversation there. Let's start chatting. Maybe you're a Black, Indigenous, or person of color. And so you have a different lived experience, not just woman, but you're a person of color, or you're Black, or you're Indigenous. Then you have a different perspective even so. Maybe you are non-binary. You also have a very different experience possibly. I want to hear about you, because those are barriers as well. Just wanted to talk about key takeaways from the EFA Coffee and Conversation. But hey, I'm OJ. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for drinking a glass of OJ.